preseason. How nice was that to have a comeback after maybe a slower start than you guys would have had?
Yeah, it was a good character win. Like it took a little time for us to get going, but yeah, it was a resilient win, and those are the kinds of efforts that we're going to need down in the season. And obviously our power play had some really good looks and kind of turned the tide for us too.
You skated on a line with Braeden Cootes at camp. How good do you feel for him to score a goal at 18 years old in this building?
18 is, kid's going to be a stud. He's already composed and playing the right way, and he's got some grit to his game, so it's going to be exciting to see him continue to put in the work, and he's just a good kid that continues to go about his business.
When you have a guy like Cootes or the other young guys pushing for roster spots, what does that do for the locker room?
Yeah, it kind of drives the whole competitiveness forward. Everyone's trying to solidify their spots and put their best foot forward, and it's a good culture of competition that we're just trying to get better every day and push towards our team goals.
This was a very physical game for you guys, throwing hits whenever you can. How important is it to establish that physicality even though it is still the preseason?
Yeah, it's important. That's part of our identity. That's going to be something that we continue to do down the stretch. Obviously it took us a little bit, but then once we started to get going and kind of get things established, and get the physicality ramped up, and obviously we turned the tides, and I thought we were pretty dominant from there on out.
You seem like the kind of guy whose competitiveness is either off or on. There's no 75%. Did we see that a little bit on that breakaway and the shorthanded chance that the linesman kind of got in the way?
Yeah, I got to do better. It's unacceptable. But yeah, obviously that's kind of the territory when driving with emotion. But yeah, I'll be better with that. I'm just trying to obviously create and kill the penalty, so I'll be better about that one. Yeah.
How do you feel the preseason's gone for you, just kind of getting up to speed at the pace?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I think we're having really good practices and good structure, and our practices are pretty impactful. Like all the staff has intent with the drills and the setup and the system. So I think it's good that we're applying it, and just continue to chip away and kind of be ready for game one.
Just having different coaches now, kind of getting a couple games to experience it. What have you been like with these guys?
Good, yeah. I think they're really doing a good job communicating, and especially getting everyone up to pace, what they expect, and I think they're really including the young guys too to kind of we're going to need everyone in the organization. So it's going to be a long season, obviously with a lot of games in a short amount of time, and it's been good. We got to keep the foot on the gas.
Yep. How did that feel to score a goal in this building and contribute to a comeback win as well?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty lucky goal, but going in the net and got rewarded, so it was pretty cool.
It seemed like your willingness to go to the net sort of served you well throughout the game. There were a couple of looks where you were screening in front, and you obviously got the goal. Is that important for you as you sort of try to build confidence and continue through the preseason here to get to those areas of the ice?
Yeah, in this league, that's kind of where a lot of goals are scored. It's such a tough league to score goals, and goalies are so good. So getting to those greasy areas and just working hard and trying to bury some.
How were your emotions tonight early on? Did you feel nervous, or did it just feel like another step?
Not too nervous, honestly. I think that first preseason game in Seattle kind of took all the nerves away. Felt pretty normal, honestly. It wasn't anything too crazy. It was a pretty cool crowd, though, so it was tons of fun.
Your coach, Brett McLean, said your journey so far is like a series of check marks, like just checking things off day by day. Do you feel like tonight was another successful check mark in this game?
Yeah, I would hope so. I think I played pretty well. I was, playing with some really good players, too. Team played well as the game went on. But, yeah, just trying to take it day by day, keep trying to get better, not trying to look too far ahead or anything, so, yeah.
What's been the best part of skating with NHLers, like the first time getting experience this type of skill as line mates? Like, what's the best thing for you right now?
Probably just how good they are. It makes my job easier. Playing with such talented players, you get the puck in better places than in junior. You watch them growing up on TV, so it's a pretty cool experience, and just trying to take it all in.
What's the best advice you've gotten from some of the guys in the locker room so far?
Just take it day by day. Keep working hard. Even Brock today, when I was like, "Oh, that's a pretty lucky goal," he was telling me that's where you score goals. Maybe that was one. But yeah, just keep working hard and doing my thing.
Just the moment that stood out to me late in the third period was you were in a board battle in the defensive zone, held him off, and made a breakout pass to Lekler-Mackey. Is that almost more important than scoring a goal, is winning those battles and showing that you can battle against these guys at this level?
Yeah, I mean, those are plays you just have to make. Getting the puck out of your end, it's just intangible, I guess, to say. I mean, yeah, scoring's nice too, contributing. Obviously, that's how you win, but also not getting scored on is how you win too. So I'd say a bit of both.
Well, Adam, what did you like about the performance from your group tonight?
I liked our second half of the game. I mean, it seemed early. The first getting some kinks out at home. A couple guys first game, so we had a tough time getting it out early. But once we settled in, it seemed like we took control of the game.
What did you think about Braeden Cootes tonight? Obviously, he gets a goal, but goes to the front of the net to do so. Seemed like he was in some of those hard areas of the ice. Is that what you want to see from a young player?
Yeah, he's like I said. We've all saying the same thing. He's smart. He knows where to go. I like Kane. He gives them room. It seemed like Lecker and Cootes feel confident out there, and we're making some plays.
What about the power play? First time to see that PP1 together. What'd you think of them tonight?
I liked it. They were moving around. They were playing with a little bit more zip. They had confidence. I think Kane down on that side with his poise and hands really, keeps it going, keeps it alive. So, Huggy's got outs everywhere, which is nice. So, and I really liked Pedersen tonight on the PP.
A few games now with your coaching staff together on a bench. What have you liked about this group together? Kind of getting a chance to actually run through some games and see what it's like as a coaching staff.
Yeah, no, it's good. And we're just like everyone else trying to figure it all out and get the kinks out. But I like we're calm. They're calm back there. And, I felt early it wasn't going our way, and a couple guys were going a little bit, maybe a little rogue or a little bit too emotional. And the coaches did a good job reeling them in and sticking to our game plan, and then we were able to turn the game around.
A few young defensemen in the lineup tonight with DPD, Willander, Kucherov. What did you make of their game, and how are these young guys adapting to the new systems that you're putting in place?
Yeah, well, it's a good question because they sometimes you get overwhelmed. You're playing at a different level, and you have time and space, or you think you can go back to the weak side. And when things happen fast, you just have to settle it down, and it's okay to go off the glass sometimes. And I think sometimes we try to, when we're young, we try to look for plays. And I felt like once they did settle it down, they looked like they had more poise towards probably the middle of the third period.
And just in general with preseason, you have veterans in the lineup, you got some of the young guys, bubble guys pushing for roster spots. How hard does that make it for you to evaluate some of these players?
Yeah, we have to have discussion, and there's, you look at the rookie camp. It's hard to evaluate a player there. You look at this is our power play's first game, and I liked what I saw in the first game. Or, you see a young guy and he might be with another young guy, and if he had a vet beside him, maybe it would settle down a little bit more. So you have to take all that into consideration.
With the power play, in the past couple years, it's been kind of a bit static. The players tend to have their spots and kind of stay in them. Tonight, I think we saw was a lot more fluid. Players were rotating a lot more. Is that what you want to see, a little more rotation from your players into those spots?
Yeah, and that's a great question. Good that you recognize that, because if you can get the top with a guy like Hughes and he's allowed to walk, we want him to walk the whole way. And we were kind of like playing in a strict diamond where he'd pass it back to PD too soon. You look at the good power plays in the league. If they're going to get the top, you're running the whole way, get into a spread/box at times. It's hard to defend because you kind of get their diamond shifted. And when you're going to shift a diamond, you get a forward low, or you get a D that's used to playing on the half wall, on blocking those shots, and then he gets twisted up, and he's now on the other side. Sometimes you lose coverage on the back door. So you look at the Colorado with Brandon had that big night in playoffs. They shifted. They didn't take the top on Dallas. They got them in the box. They shifted Makar and Taze, and they got a backdoor goal. And that's a great play in hockey. I felt like we didn't go to it enough last year, and Brett's doing a good job teaching that. When Huggy's got the wheels and they're going to give him the top, we'll take it. And you see the shifts, and I like the way it moves Petey, and he's not just standing there, so he can come downhill sometimes with that shot. Or you see him, he had the puck on his stick. I felt a lot more tonight, but again, we don't want to get too far ahead of it because we're going to see some tougher D and opponents we're going to have right when they get down to their team.
And when you're evaluating someone like Cootes, he gets the goal tonight, obviously, but
do you really focus more on what he's doing in the defensive zone, away from the puck, in board battles, in terms of evaluating whether he's ready for this level?
His brain, I mean, his brain's there, you know, but you gotta also, someone said it earlier, when you're evaluating games, there's not yet been a full lineup in, you know, 20 games in a row, back-to-backs, travel, you know. So we've got to evaluate and consider all of that, the wear and tear out of a young body and things like that. And you know, we're not in a position, we're going to go take it day by day with him, and that's how we've always been so far in this camp, is it's the way to be. And he had another great day. So, you know, he'll probably play another one.
Physicality was big, especially in the second half. So was that something that you really wanted to press on the team, that they have to play that physical game? And were there any conversations maybe in between the intermissions about amping up the physicality?
Not physicality, more competing, chipping body, get in front of guys. I don't want guys to go run around and look for hits or things like that. I want them, when it's time to get in front of someone, chip body or win that 50-50, yeah, be physical and win it. I was more concerned about our emotions. We weren't settled, and sometimes that's the first game, you know, when that happens, you just don't play connected. And once we went out there and settled our emotions, we took over the game.
And in the past, you've mentioned that you wanted to see Besser on the penalty kill. So we saw him and PD together. Do you have any first reactions to? I know it was not a ton on the penalty kill, but just first reactions to seeing them in a game setting like that.
Well, he's smart, and you know, we haven't given him enough in the PK yet for him to feel comfortable. He's going to have some reps, and we're going to have to do some walkthroughs in practice. But in that moment, I felt like we needed him with the group we had, and he did a good job. He pays attention. You know, he hears all the PK meetings over the years, and we always run them as a group before our game, rather than where power plays more separate when we do our meetings. So he's heard a lot, and you know, he's one of those guys that picks up drills in practice pretty quick. So I wasn't too concerned about it.
Just to go back to Evander, you swapped him and DeBrusque at one point in the second period. Was that about trying to help him get his blood flowing, or
no? He's been great. That was more of a call where if they've had a little bit of a shift going, whether it was 20, 15 seconds, and we have a draw on their end, and you know, we win that face-off, and you got that heavy body, that's where he's good down there, right? Rather than, say, a face-off in our own end where he still can play. He's still a real smart hockey player, but, you know, it's a strike play. You know, you get him going, and when you saw what he did below the goal line, he can win a draw, he can go to the net, and he can have a guy on his back there and make a play. So it was more of just strategy, I guess.
You're halfway through at least the games of camp. When you see a guy like Vitaly Kravtsov, I mean, what have you seen? Have you seen enough? You need to see more? What are you looking for from him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy still, and you know, getting the reps, he was doing some good stuff out there. And twice in the rails, he tried to help us D. The D lost someone from behind the net, and he kind of tried to help, and he put himself in a 2-on-1 situation. That's just being young, and you know, we can fix that and help him with that kind of thing. Thank you. Thanks, guys.